can stop me. No. 'Cause I'm addicted to what you and I realize. Either way, I follow. No need to say where we are heading now, babe. I follow to the edge of it all. So tell you good night, 'cause I'll find no matter what. Yeah, susceptible night before the moment flies, before it flies. So tell you good night, 'cause I'll find no matter what. Susceptible night before the moment flies.
All right, guys, what is up? What is up? Welcome back to the Locked In Podcast, episode 78. Tonight, guys, we're back with another sports episode. It's been a minute since we did a sports one. We're hopping back into it tonight with some Sixers talk. As you saw in the promotions, breaking down the first round playoff matchup between the Toronto Raptors and Philadelphia 76ers is starting this weekend. We thought, what a better time to hop back into a sports episode. So tonight, guys, we got that treat for you. As always, I'm your host for the evening, Steve Ushler. Joined alongside me is my co-host, George Menchai. And welcome back to the building, guys. My boy, Rich Mitchell. What is up, Rich? Pleasure to have you on.
What's up, Rich? What's up? How's everybody?
What's going on, man? Good. I like that background there, man. Living large.
Yeah.
Living large, man. Yeah, man, we always appreciate having you on for these sports episodes, man. I mean, you always have some good analysis, some good insight to add. Yeah, we actually might have another person or two maybe pop in, hopefully. But not 100% sure on that, to be honest. So people want to hop in, and if anybody who's watching live wants to hop in, just shoot a comment. We can see the comments that kind of come in, and I can drop the link for anybody to hop on if y'all want to add to the discussion. But guys, we're gonna play the intro. I'm gonna play like a quick little snippet, and we'll hop right into it, not waste any time.
Awesome.
All right, guys. So also just play the intro real quick. I know that's actually just like a snippet for this episode. I'll try to keep it real short though. I'm not gonna play the full thing, but let's hop into it and we'll see you guys on the other side.
Let's do it.
Walk along the razor's edge, but don't look
All right, guys. See, a lot of people are kind of rolling in right now. So, guys, as we said, welcome back to the Locked In Podcast, episode 78. Breaking down Sixers talk tonight. Going to break down the first round matchup between the Toronto Raptors and your home Philadelphia 76ers. We'll talk NBA playoffs in general, but obviously we're mainly going to focus on the first round here with the Sixers. Maybe a quick recap of the season, but happy to have you both in here with me tonight, guys. And
Solid.
yeah, let's jump into it, guys. So the Sixers, man, obviously everything kind of transitioned this year when we were finally able to move Simmons to Brooklyn with Curry and Drummond to acquire. Obviously, the big acquisition, James Harden and Paul Millsap, when we brought them both in here. So it kind of gave us more of that resurgence, that hope going into the playoffs. Because if we would have still had the same team, we weren't getting anything from Simmons, who wasn't playing for us, right? So there wouldn't have been a lot of expectations or hope for the Sixers this season going into the playoffs had we not been able to move on from Simmons and acquire Harden. Now that we have that acquisition, I'm kind of excited to see what happens. But let's dive right into it. So, guys, thoughts on the season this year for the Sixers? We ended up in fourth place. And then thoughts going into this first round matchup versus the Raptors, who were sitting at the fifth seed. Either one of you could start, but what are you guys' thoughts?
You go
ahead, George.
I mean, I thought the season was pretty good, bro. I thought that we, kind of like a better team now we were before, and definitely the whole thing with Ben Simmons, man. I mean, that was, definitely kind of holding back a little bit of the morale, the mindset. But we left Ben Simmons, for other reasons, obviously, and we got James Harden, and now, I mean, he definitely seems to be like fitting in well with the team and between him and Embiid and other players. And I mean, I see because I get to watch a lot of games, although I don't get to follow as much as I would like to because I'm at work. But it looks like we've shown a lot of growth and a lot of continuity, man. We're definitely consistent. And yeah, fourth place. I mean, I was hoping a little higher, but I mean, you know what? We'll take it, man. Because I saw comeback games. I saw games go to like overtime. Being at work, and I watched them at home too, by the way, but mostly at work. So we showed a lot of, I think, sort of like a team spirit, in my opinion. And yeah, man, this is not 2018 or 2019, So this is like a different era now. We'll see how we do in the playoffs. I mean, we do have the Raptors though. The Raptors, they're a pretty decent team. We'll kind of like take it from there. That's just what I say. Kind of like a little overview of the season. Obviously, some big games that we could get more in depth, and some losses too. But a lot of key moments throughout the season, up to April of 2022. And to the time of the playoffs. So I'm happy. I mean, to be honest, I can ask for more or less rather. It's like kind of like. It's kind of what I thought would be. Like I said, man, even if somehow we don't win this year, man, we're still kind of growing team, and we have this year, next year, got to be like the years, and we got to make them count. 2021, 2022, which is this year, and then 2022, 2023, next upcoming season, we got to because now we're ready, man. We got rid of a lot of, players that for one reason or the other got let go, or maybe they just didn't fit the team no more, or, whatever. Management felt like, they have to be traded for other players, or maybe they got old or whatever, but I still like our team, and James Harden definitely looked good.
Well, let me address something you just said right there. You just said that we got a little window here. What do you say, like 2 or 3 years or window, or what's your window for us as a championship team?
I feel like the window, bro, like I was just saying, like last year, you could have said we were kind of part, like in the whole window of winning, because I mean, we had a good team. Obviously, the whole thing with Ben Simmons is a different thing. They have, hold on, my bad, man. I have people call me. Stop fucking calling me when I'm doing the show. Let me just put it on silent. My bad, guys. I know if anybody wants to call me and do the show, do a show. Why are you calling me?
Just put it on.
I don't answer calls or emails or texts.
Just put it on. Yeah, just put it on silent, bro. That's what I do. I just put my phone on silent.
Yeah. So yeah, like I was saying, I think Rich, to answer your question, bro, the window's still open. Honestly, bro, it was last year. Is this year? Is next year? I mean, who knows? Because I mean, you can't look for the future. By 2024, we might have lost a few guys, and maybe the team, hopefully not. But I'm just saying, the team might not be where it's at, but right now it's like we're solid, strong. And like I said, man, even in like 2021 and 2020, I mean, the year of COVID, everything happened, we were solid. But 2021 was like the beginning, I feel like, and then it sucks that Ben Simmons started to kind of go downhill. And then, we had the whole fiasco where he started on a tantrum. He didn't want to play and practice, blah, blah, blah. So that kind of, again, it was a small derail only because there's no eye in the team. Does that make any sense? I mean, if Ben Simmons was suffering and was going through it, the team's going through it. The best thing to do is to what we did. He should have left early. Okay, go ahead. Goodbye. No hard feelings, guys. No, nothing. No love lost or whatever. No strings attached. You're cool. You could do your thing and just get another player. We did it. It took a little longer than we thought, but we did it. That's what I'm saying. I feel like everything was cool. There was no problem before that. I mean, we didn't win last year, or the year before that.
Let me just. You go ahead, Steph.
Go ahead. Yeah, you got the
Oh
floor.
yeah, I was just gonna say, like, I'll address both two things both of you said. So Rich, on the window, I'll say 1 to 2 years, because and 2 is like really stretching it because of Embiid. Embiid's a phenomenal player, but just his health is the thing you worry about, right? And then George, I know you had said, 4th place, but when you realistically look at what 4th place is, we were 2 games out of first. So if you look, 51-31, 51-31, 51-31 were the top 2 through seeds 2 through 4. We were the Celtics, the Bucks, and the Sixers were all 51-31. So we were the only reason the Bucks and the Celtics are higher than the Sixers is because of a tiebreaker situation where the Celtics had beaten us on the season and the Bucks had beaten us on the season. And then Miami had 2 games up on all of us. So it was real close between getting that first seed. Realistically, we're 2 games out of first place, even sitting at 4. So that's one thing to address. And then Rich, I think the window is about 1 to 2 years. I'm going to be realistic. Like, I know we're going to jump into the first series first. I don't see the Sixers winning it this year. There's just too much talent. But, next year, once Harden's been with us for a year, definitely high aspirations. But how about I'll flip that back to you, Rich. What do you think the window is, realistically?
I agree. I think it's 1 to 2 years. And I think I'd be a little bit more disappointed if I know which you believe that is more talent up there. We probably don't. I think we do got a little bit more of a chance, but it's up to us. It's in our hands. Sixers tend to have nights where they gel, and then they have nights where they don't gel together. And my thing is, you guys figure out how to play together, play with Harden in the rotation there. You know what I mean? And really, you just heard the statements that Harden spoke about not having. He doesn't feel like he has to prove anything. Well, I mean, me, I don't believe that. I don't buy that for a second. I think that he's going to go in there. I think he's going to go in there and he's going to put his best out there, his best product out there. And him saying that, I mean, I think that's just for the press and just to kind of keep people, kind of try and tone the pressure down. And but honestly, I think pressure. I think he's feeling that pressure. I think he has to improve. And I'd be a little bit more disappointed if we didn't get far this year because, as you know, I understand he's in the West. I understand all these things, but this is the best time to take a push from the East for that championship since LeBron's not in the playoffs. I don't know what LeBron's going to do next season. I don't know what type of squad's going to come in. So I feel like since the big man is not in the playoffs this year, I think it's everybody else's best shot this year to try and get. I think going to your point though, like I said, it's so much ambition and talent in the NBA right now. A lot of young talent. You know what I mean? So I definitely
a lot of younger guys coming up. Yeah.
I don't think we'll get super far, but I don't know. For some reason, I still would feel that disappointment. You know what I mean? Even in not getting far. Hopefully, I got a little bit more hope than you. I think, Stephen. I think I got a little bit more hope than you. But you gotta be realistic. You got to bring that down. And I agree with you, man. I mean, on the Raptors, it's a lot of state guys that's going to be hacking in the league.
Yeah, they're a very good defensive team. And so my hope, to be honest, it depends on how the seedings play out and who beats who. Say, the Sixers beat the Raptors and they get to the second round, and say everything works out that the Celtics beat the Nets at the second seed, that's going to be a hell of a series. Right. The Nets, even though they're at the 7, and obviously they're going to be the biggest number 7 seed of all time because I mean realistically they had a lot of guys who didn't play. If the Celtics take care of business and they beat the Nets, Miami wins against Miami. We don't know who they're going to play yet. It's either going to be Cleveland or Atlanta. Miami takes care of business against them. The Bucks are probably going to sweep the Bulls realistically, and then say the Sixers beat the Raptors. That would mean we're playing Miami in the second round. If we play Miami in the second round, I think there's a good shot that the Sixers can win that series. Now, so my aspirations would be if we can beat the Raptors and we beat the Heat, we go to the Eastern Conference Finals. We're either going to be playing the Bucks or the Celtics. Either of those teams are going to be challenging as hell for the Sixers. If they play the Celtics, they could win. If they play the Bucks, I don't think they'll win. I think it's a bad matchup for Philly. I think the Bucks will go back to the finals. That's going to be a tough matchup. It all depends on how things play out and how the seeding and who wins. And obviously, we got to take
Milwaukee play.
You think the Bucks got better shooters than us?
The Bucks have a hell of a team. Like, they're just very long. They got a good bench. They're strong. Giannis plays out of his mind in the playoffs. We saw what happened last year. Giannis won it all, and he's playing out of his mind. They have a good team. They're deep. They got Chris Middleton, Drew Holiday.
Listen, if it's the defense to stop Giannis, it's the Sixers' defense.
It's going to be tough, though. I mean, we lose a step. Remember, we lost Simmons. I mean, we lose that step. The only one who would be Thibault. And remember, in this series, remember this one, guys, too. Thibault will not be playing on the road games in this series in Toronto because he's not fully vaccinated. So that's we lose that defense when we go to Toronto. Because
the Raptors are fully healthy too. Not to cut you off, the Raptors are fully healthy, by the way.
They are, yeah. Fred Van Fleet has been playing. Has been battling a little bit of injury, but he will be back for the playoffs. Siakam is a beast. They have shooters over there, man. Chris Boucher. They got guys that can ball. And this is going to be the number one to everybody out there. This is going to be the number one factor. We got Doc Rivers versus Nick Nurse as a coach. Nick Nurse is a better coach than Doc Rivers. He's only been coaching 4 years, but Doc Rivers, in my opinion, I like him, but let's be realistic. He's a little bit overrated. He has one championship to his name. He has, 3-1 leads that he blew in the NBA playoffs. He's choked multiple times. If they don't get out of the first round, he's fired, in my opinion. He's gone. He's only been here, 2 years? But if he don't get out of the first round, he's in trouble.
He's going to be under pressure, bro.
He's riding that
war for him, But
he's riding that one championship with the Celtics from 2008. And let's be realistic, the team that he had in 2008 was Ray Allen, Paul Pierce, Rondo, Garnett. He had four All-Stars in the starting five lineup.
Yeah.
So, I mean, coaching's going to be big. I think, though, we have the best player in this series, right? We have Joel Embiid. Anytime you have the best player in the series, I personally think you should win that series. Siakam has been playing really good, but then again, I think we got the number 2 best player in the series in James Harden. You got the 2 top players in the team in that series. I think we're going to win. We'll get to the predictions. I'll tell you how many games in a minute, but I realistically think we win this series, but it's going to be a lot closer than people think. Some people think we're going to lose the series, but there's a lot of people that think we're going to win. We're going to sweep or 5.
They got a couple good players though, like you said, Fred Van Fleet, bro. They got what's his name? Armoni Brooke, Brooks. I'm sorry, Brooks Armoni. He's decent. I mean, they got a couple good guys, but like I said, I think we have a little better defense overall, and probably slightly better players, but. It doesn't matter, man. The Raptors have given us trouble in the past too. So I mean, I'm just saying, It
definitely does matter though. You have Joel Embiid. You got the best player. I mean, Joel Embiid's up for the MVP candidate. He just won.
I'm saying we have a little more. We have a little more solid. Guys that not only MVPs or guys from the All-Star game. But these guys are up in the series.
Tyrese Maxey, obviously. We got Maxey.
Yeah, Maxey.
It's going to come down to. Our Harden,
Scotty Barnes, but he's all right.
Tobias Harden, and Maxey. What are they going to do? Because Embiid is going to get double. Nick Nurse has a past of double and triple teaming Joel Embiid. It's going to happen. He's going to get triple teamed Embiid. They're gonna do everything they can to not allow him to beat them.
And that's what makes Maxey so important, though. That's what makes Maxey so important is that because Maxey contributes one of the key factors I think is going to be ball movement in this.
I agree. It's going to be big time ball movement. See, last year Maxey it was his rookie year. I think that the moment was too big for him in the playoffs. He couldn't really get past. This year, I think that all changes. I think Tyrese Maxey has matured in the last year. He's going to be ready. I really
Yeah.
do think so. He'll be ready. And it's
We
gonna,
got some users down here saying Sixers and 7 too, right down there, right down below. So
yeah, we do.
yeah,
Let me see who said 6s and 7s.
got
I
some
got to read the
comments.
comments.
You give me the comments.
Let's see who it is. Oh, it's my boy Todd. My boy Todd said real tough series, 6s and 7s. So I didn't get to my actual prediction yet, but I do agree with that. I think it's going to be the 6s and 7. We got the home court in that 7th game. I said we win. But it's going to be a lot. That's what I said. It's going to be a lot closer than people think it's going to be. I think.
Either 6 or 7 games.
What are you guys' predictions? So since we're just getting into them right now, like just off of real quick, what are you guys' predictions for the series?
I'll let you go ahead, George.
I don't know, bro. I think he might go to like game.
I agree.
Probably like game 7, I would say. Maybe it's even like the 6th game and we win the series by the 6th game. But I don't know. I read them.
Yeah, I agree. Sixers and 7s. This is a tough team, but I think we'll pull it off. I think
They can go back and forth.
I think we'll pull it off.
Yeah, we can pull that off. Man. We've done it in the past. I mean, again, on paper, it looks like they're better players. They got some good players too, but sometimes even the better players is not always the case because what do they get NBA out of the game quick? You know, like I don't know, they're trying to like double team him, make sure he's trying to kind of frustrate him. You know, they're gonna try to frustrate Embiid and make sure that Embiid and what's his name and Harden have like a hard game. But you know, with Tobias in there, bro, like I said, I'm hoping Tobias too. I think we have the right, you know, from the point guard. You know, like our shooters are good. Toronto got some good shooters. I mean, don't get me wrong, and they've won, but they're also a team that's lost a lot of older players from like 3 years ago. So
Toronto's bread and butter is defense. They're a good defensive team.
Yeah.
They can keep you to a very low scoring game. If we play into their hand, Toronto can win. That's the thing. I'd be lying if I said this series didn't worry me. I was kind of hoping the Sixers got the Bulls in the first round, or Cleveland, or thank God we didn't get the Nets in the first round. I would not want to face them in the first round. A lot of people go, I want to play. I do want to play them. I don't want to see them in round 1. That would be
No.
I do not want to see them in round 1.
you give all your energy, you play so well against them and beat them, but then by like the next game, if you do pass the series with the Nets, then now so the Raptors can really beat you now because you're more tired because you got the tough team on the first round. If anything, we want to avoid them until the very end, possibly, and then just have a good, toughest series and be the fine, or towards the end. You know what I mean? Like later on in the series, not or in the playoffs. Because I mean, the
Sixers
Nets
gotta get the rebounds too.
You got Kyrie and you got everybody. Kyrie's back.
Sixers got to get the rebounds, bro. For this series, that's a point blank period. Sixers got to get the
Ball
rebounds.
possession wins, bro. Pressure, bust pipes.
Sixers got to keep their ball movement. They got to keep interval defense, and they got to limit their turnovers, like you said. Limit.
That's actually a very good point, man. Rebound.
You know what I'm saying? And my thing is like, okay, we can't rely on Embiid too much. Like this is the time right here for Harden to prove his worth. This series and the next, maybe this and the next series, if we don't make it through the next 2, I think that it's going to prove like, okay, is the Harden trade successful or not? You know what I mean? That's the thing for me. Like, man, like it's like when you kick a bird off of a freaking off of their nest, and it's like you're either going to fly or you're going to fall. You know what I'm saying?
Pretty much.
I think that's for Harden.
That's how you see it.
In my opinion, Harden 100% has to prove his worth. We can't have the Harden that shows up in the playoffs in previous for previous teams where he just does not show up. We can't have that happen. But I want to say one thing about the Harden trade. No matter which way we slice it, what were we going to get if we didn't get Harden? You know what I mean? Realistically, Ben Simmons was giving us nothing. He was never going to play for this team ever again. He was never going to take the court for us. We didn't lose anything without him. We mainly lost Seth Curry for Harden. Seth Curry's injured right now. He's not 100%. So Korkmaz, Shake Milton need to step up. See, I would really like to not see Korkmaz play at all. Korkmaz and Shake Milton. I really hope that Korkmaz has struggled big time down the stretch. I really hope that Doc doesn't even play Korkmaz, not in this series anyway. Shake Milton, yeah. Thibault. We're going to have Danny Green, I think, who will be on the bench. George Niang, I think, is critical to close out. I really trust Niang on that bench to drop threes late in the game. He played for Utah. He's a vet. I do trust George's Niang. He's been big. Milton, yes, Milton will have to have a good game, and Thibault not playing is going to be tough, man. And this is going to be defensive game, and not having him on the road is going to be critical. From what I understand,
I'm telling you, man. Like I agree with you, and I agree with the comment down below that's talking about Korkmaz and Shake Milton needing to show up. The thing that I believe is with this team is all right. So, what do y'all think is the definition of playing into the Raptors game? Because what I think playing into what they want us to play is to over rely on Embiid,
Mm-hmm.
so that they can have their big guys, their big defense swarm on Embiid. We can't over depend on Embiid. We need our bench players. We need our guys to step up, especially since Thibault won't be able to play in the away games.
Milton.
yeah, I don't. Yeah, no, we can't rely. We Embiid, they're gonna double triple him. Like we see this every single time with Nick Nurse. You're gonna have to have we can't rely on him. We have to go into that knowing that. Like
We
Embiid
need
will get
everybody from Green to a Milton to a Millsap and Niang.
Oh, yeah,
you're right, bro.
my boy Todd said you need Korkmaz to hit threes. Totally disagree with you. But, hey, man,
I kind of agree a little bit, but I think
Korkmaz
Korkmaz plays a few games.
It's 100%. It's 100% your prerogative, man. Yeah, no, I get you. I like Korkmaz personally. I really do. Here's the thing: he definitely struggled down the stretch, and I just don't trust him right now to hit threes. Maybe you can play him game one. If he really struggles, he's got to go. He's got to be pulled out.
Yeah,
I just don't know, man.
Right.
I want to Korkmaz, in my opinion, plays one game. He comes to the bench towards let's say game 3 or 4, and if we're leading by 1 in the series, if it's a 3-2 in game 5, maybe he plays a little. If he plays in game 1, he doesn't do that well. He may not really get a lot of playing time. He struggled a little bit. He's been a little on the bench. I would like Korkmaz. He gets the threes. He's a good athletic, agile player. He can dribble too. He got it all pretty much, right? But not just a funny. He's got a cool name too, Korkmaz. But I mean, he plays well. He struggled a little bit, so he's gonna have more faith in the older guys. But to have him there, I think, like Rich was saying, it's a plus. And I agree with what I guess Todd was saying that the threes will come in handy, man. Because like you said, Rich, to play in their strength to be to try to be too predictable, too light, too much over rely on the big players, right? They're gonna figure us out. They're gonna defend well. They're gonna try to frustrate us. They're gonna make it a tough, a boring game. Let them mess up, get the rebounds, score on counters and all that on turnovers, losing the ball. So I mean, we gotta be on point, But also having Korkmaz in there or somebody else like Harrison will help us and give us more value in plays, and having Embiid and Harden, getting there with the dunks and all. Embiid could defend too, when he wants to. I mean, he's got his moments, but. And he's in the top of his game right now. Let's capitalize on that. Like you said, if they overuse him and overthink everything on Embiid or Harden, we're not going to win. We're probably simply going to choke by game 4. I mean,
you can't do it alone.
I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but that's how it goes.
That's an easy formula. You know what I'm saying? They're going to
swarm you, right? Exactly.
It's predictable strategy. And so what you got to do, you need your guys to step up. Plain and simple. You need your guys to hit their shots. Because chances are with the Raptors defense, and they got big, tall guys too. That's how they do such a good job defending against Embiid.
Guys, yeah.
And Embiid, he still puts up points. No one's saying Embiid doesn't put up points or he's not going to. Embiid is always going to throw down. But what I'm trying to say is he needs help on top of that. And if your guys don't hit their shots, they're not going to win because Raptors are going to be right there for the rebound. They have so many big, tall. They're going to be right there for the rebound. So
they got shooters for sure, man. They got Gary Trent Jr. You got Fred.
He made a good point. Rich made a great point. Think about this, Steve. If we start missing points and they're right there, and it's they strategize the game to where they're going to be banking. Okay, they got good shooters. Talking about us, right? But if they miss, our guys are ready to get rebounds. You're right, Rich. Rebounds will be very important. As will some layups, bringing it in, trying get the game going. A good passing will help us. I mean. We've done good, guys, so let's not think it. But at the same time, man, I mean, the Raptors to say that they don't worry me, it would be a little bit of an understatement. I'm a little worried, but I'm not I don't think they're just gonna beat us in the series. At least now we're at a good fight. But I mean, we need to not just put up a good fight. We need to win the series so we can go to the next round.
This I would say out of in the top 4 seeds, this is our third most favorable matchup. Because with the Bulls would have been number 1, or maybe even Cleveland, or Cleveland or the Bulls would have been our number one and two choices we would want to play. Number 3 would be the Raptors. Obviously, number 4 would be Brooklyn. We don't want to see Brooklyn in round 1, but the Raptors are just no scrub, man. We should win this series, man. It's just that
Celtics will be
you're asking me if I trust Doc Rivers when it comes down to this, man. Some of his substitutions worry me, man.
Do you think he knows he's on the hot seat? Do you think he knows he's on the hot seat for this
he has to be.
first round?
He has to know that, bro.
Yeah, there's no excuse we lose first round because of the injury. There's no injuries, so man. Nick Nurse is a good coach.
He needs to strategize, like you said, dude. Play. You know what? Dope guys. Real quick, think about this scenario. Just hear me out for a second. What if everybody thinks it's gonna be all about Embiid? And Embiid does well, but somebody between Harden and Tobias and say Niang or somebody else like that, we got in there, kind of steals the show, and everybody thinks it'll be Embiid. Embiid just kind of they pass and go. They start dunking, getting some good jumpers and all that stuff. Free shots and free throws and all that, or even 3-pointers, and we beat them that way. And everybody expects us to be all basically relying mostly on Embiid, which we do often. Historically, we've done it. You know what I mean? Especially recently. And then it's not really like that. He's just merely like a guy, the blocker, the big dude, the big bad wolf on the court. And he does his thing, but say somebody else kind of shines like that. Imagine if that happened. That'll be the best case scenario. That means that we have guys that are stepping up even more on such an important caliber game. Will that happen? I mean, that's just wishful thinking, but I mean,
That's why I said ball movement is important, George, because they're gonna be on Embiid. They're gonna be on him, hacking him. And
exactly. Yo, thank you. My man said hacking him. There we go. Come on.
They're gonna be on him.
Let me talk real quick. Let me finish for 1 second.
You go ahead, Stevie. Go ahead.
No, you can finish, bro, and then I'll.
I was just gonna say, listen, that's why the ball movement you got to get. That's why Maxi's important. That's why Harden and what he does is so important. He has to make his shots, and Harden has not always like he doesn't always make his shots. Let's be real, and he's still kind of gelling. I feel like with the team, they won together. Don't get me wrong, but consistently, I gotta see a little bit more consistency with Harden in these games moving forward, especially in the playoffs.
Agree. Yeah, man, 100%. That's actually a very, very good point, man. So I think Todd commented if we lose first round, Doc is out, and Mike D'Antoni will be the new coach. It's actually a really, really good observation there, mainly because of the fact that D'Antoni and Harden have worked together, obviously in Houston. I know Harden likes D'Antoni. I know he likes D'Antoni, so it's a very good observation. Yeah, if we lose in round 1, that's a very, very good observation. It very well could be the case that happens, because he's definitely looking to get a coaching job again. It's going to be interesting. Here's my breakdown for the series, and this is what I think will happen. Harden is going to have one game where he's going to be the best player on the court. He's going to get the win. There's going to be a game where everybody does their thing. Everybody contributes. We get a win. That's 2 wins. And I think because he's so damn good, Joel Embiid will get you 2 because he is that good. No matter what they throw at him, if other players are hitting their shots and Embiid gets his single coverage, which he will at times, Embiid will win you 2 just because he's that damn good. I do believe that. So I think that's your 4 wins, and that gets you the series. No matter which way you slice it, 7 games. I've seen people with 6. 6 isn't a bad pick either. I've seen some articles out there, man. People are saying Raptors in 6 and other things. Like I saw something on Forbes.
I've seen some
Forbes. It was like Raptors in 6. I don't know. It's it's gonna be interesting, but yeah, breaking down the lineup, man. Last time we just played the Raptors, Gary Trent Jr. went off on us. They got OG Anunoby. They got Precious Achiuwa, who actually went off on us. Chris Boucher, he can always ball. If Chris Boucher gets hot, he can knock them down. Fred Van Vliet is obviously he's a baller. He was critical when they won the championship a few years back. Pascal Siakam is their number 1. He's their biggest player. He's going to be tough. Scotty Barnes isn't no scrub either. And then remember, they got former Sixer from back in the day, Thaddeus Young. They got Thaddeus Young, and he gives them size. Yeah, you know got that, man.
I'll say this about the I'll give you my number of what I think. I'll give you exactly what I think it's going to be. Listen, if Harden plays his best basketball and doesn't choke, if we keep the ball movement going and have great ball movement, and if we hit our shots, I think it's going to be 4-2 Sixers. Now, if we don't do those things and we kind of play how we, one game here we play really well, we gel together. In another game, we don't gel too good. When Harden's on the court, he's not really scoring. He's not getting his rebounds really. Like if we have this Harden that's like not consistent, I think it's going to be what you're saying, Sixers in 7 games. So either way, I have making it through the first round. But it's just like, are we going to do this the easy way or the hard way? And the history shows in Philly, we usually do it the hard way.
Yep. Unfortunately, we make our life complicate our life harder and make it harder than it is. Yeah. Because of games. Well, you make a good point, Richard. If I just want to add one second, the thing that if we could kind of like get the games going, man, and it's tough, close games, and we win, it's all about getting the win. But I mean, I can see them like somehow like getting a win, like Toronto, like maybe like besting us in one of those games. But if we can start like a nice lead, like a 1-0, 2-0 against them, then
right.
I mean, that'll be a good way to kind of start out, man. But you're right, though. I mean, yeah, Harding's had some tough times in the past. He looked pretty good so far in the season. You couldn't say he didn't have a great, start for Philly. For the Sixers. I mean, was it the most excellent ever? Maybe not, but was it a good one? Definitely good. I mean, he showed determination, like a good team. It's almost like he's a new. He needed a change. So we need a change. The old air of Ben there, he just couldn't even do anymore. Ben just didn't want to do anything. So we got the new guy. He took us this far. Now it's a real test. Now it's like the playoffs. Now it gets tougher. I mean, so
I have a question for you though.
Good.
Our game, and I don't mean to like backtrack back into the season, but this is an important, this is kind of like an important ongoing thing that might affect us later in the playoffs if we make it through the first round. But do you think that if we would have beaten Brooklyn, do you think if we would have beaten them when they came here to Philly, do you think that would have changed the perception? Because there's a perception. Some people think that, one, everyone loves this trade. Let me just put that out there. This trade, it's a win-win for us because Ben Simmons wasn't going to do shit anyway. Just the fact that we could get rid of Simmons is a win for us. But do you think that if we would have beat Brooklyn,
with Maris right
there would be a different connotation in the sports media world about Harden right now if we would have beaten Brooklyn?
Maybe.
Steve, or
yeah, maybe. I mean, that worried a lot of Sixers fans, including myself, because the Sixers got blown the hell out in that game by like 30-something points. I think that I'm not going to lie, Brooklyn is – I'm not trying to shortchange Brooklyn.
In the East Coast.
Brooklyn is who they are. They are definitely if Kyrie and Durant can both get theirs on any night, it's a tough team to beat. I think we were a little bit distracted though. I'm not shortchanging Brooklyn, but I think we were a little distracted on the whole Ben Simmons drama. Him coming back to Philly.
There was too much emotions running deep.
A lot of drama going on inside that situation.
Drama.
I definitely think it would have changed a little bit the perception, to answer your question there, Rich.
But there's drama there with Harden for the Nets and them having to see and go. So, I mean, it works both ways. You know what I mean? With Brooklyn having to see Harden again.
Said I agree, Rich. Kyrie took Harden's soul in that game. Yeah, Kyrie had something to prove in that game.
Wow. I was thinking the same thing, dude.
Durant and Kyrie, I don't like either of them, to be honest, but I will say one thing about Durant. Durant, obviously, it's very, very hard to not respect his game. Durant is going to go down Hall of Fame, top 10 player of all time.
I like Durant, so we can't complain.
But one thing, I just don't like Kyrie Irving. I just don't like him. Because in my opinion, he quits on his teams and stuff. Like, he plays when he wants to play, and he does what he wants.
Diva. Like, he wants things his way or no way at all.
Yeah, I don't like – the one thing about Durant is he will not quit on his team. I don't like Kyrie. I really don't. But Kyrie is talented as hell. He can ball out when he needs to ball out.
You think he's a me-first type of player? Like, just, more like, however I'm feeling today, that's what I'm going to put out on the court, whatever I'm feeling. If I'm not feeling it, this matches up with what I
can't have it, though. That's the thing.
Like, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he's got skills, man, but the dude is so political. Damn.
He
Right.
brings too much into it. He's a flat Earth guy. I feel like he likes to go against the grain. He likes to be the villain. He likes to play the villain. I'm gonna tell you right now, though, this series against Boston is going to be very, very interesting for Brooklyn because Kyrie's going back to Boston. We remember what happened last time, man. He stuck his foot on the logo of Boston, and he rubbed his foot into the logo, and somebody threw a beer right at his head, missed him by like this much.
Wait,
when he was going at the tunnel. In Boston, they threw a beer like right at him or a soda or something. Boom, missed his head by like this much. Yeah, when he was walking at the tunnel because he went in the middle of the logo, and at the end of the game when Brooklyn won, he stuck his foot into the freaking logo like
disrespectful. Yeah, it's so petty.
Yeah, so a fan took I forget it was like a beer or soda. They choked it. It missed his head by this much. Like it's gonna be interesting, man. There's drama up there. People tend to forget that up in Boston. It's gonna be interesting. I'm gonna tell you right now. I don't like. This is so bittersweet for me. I hate both teams. I can't stand the Boston Celtics. I can't stand the Brooklyn Nets. The only reason I might want the Celtics to win is so if the Sixers win, we play Miami next round. We get Miami in round 2, which they're the number 1 seed, right? But I think they're a little bit of a fluky number 1 seed. You'd much rather see Miami than see
than Brooklyn.
Milwaukee. You don't want to see. Or you don't want to see the Bucks in round 2. You also don't want to see the Celtics in round 2. I'm gonna keep it real.
Yeah,
the Celtics have been on dangerous. They've been on a hot streak. You don't want to.
Yeah, unfortunately.
You don't think we have a better matchup against the Celtics than we do against Brooklyn?
That's tough. I don't. In terms of them two, I don't know.
The Celtics they're tricky though, right?
How I'm saying it though is if the Sixers win. The Bucks win. I think the Bucks is a gimme. That's my lock of the series. The Bucks are gonna lock down Chicago. It's not even close.
They got a good team though.
Say Brooklyn wins and Miami win. We won't play Miami in round. That's my whole thing. It has nothing to realistically do with it. Do we have a better matchup with the Celtics or the Nets? We won't face either of those teams in round 2. But I do want to play. So say the Celtics win. I mean, the Celtics lose. Say Brooklyn wins at the 7th seed. Miami wins at the 1. Yeah. The highest seed plays the lowest seed. Brooklyn's the 7. We wouldn't play Miami in round 2, which would suck for us if Brooklyn wins. We would play the Bucks in round 2. I'd much rather see Miami, if you know what I mean, than the defending champion. See the Bucks.
Oh yeah.
I think the Bucks are the team to beat. To be honest, I think they're the toughest team in the East. I do.
Yeah.
Even higher than Brooklyn. If the Bucks and Brooklyn play one another, it's not a good matchup.
I think even we match up better against the Bucks than we do Brooklyn. Brooklyn, to me, is like Maris just said, the way that we lost, it wasn't that we lost, the way that we lost.
We got blown out, but
I just feel like Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant extra fire when they play against Harden because it's like, dude, you were on our team. You were so effing lazy. You were fat and lazy when you were here with us. You didn't put in no effort. But then you come over there, you go over to Philly, and you just magically shed all this pounds and lose all this weight. And then now you're out here putting your best foot forward with this team. And then you want to know how much of a snub it is to say, well, man, to be honest with you, I've always wanted to be in Philly. I never really wanted to be in Brooklyn. Like, fuck Brooklyn. It's like, so it's like, they're like, man, fuck you. Every time we see you, we're going to put our best foot forward. We're going to hit. Kyrie's like, I'm hitting all. And I think he damn near hit all his shots when he played us.
He did. So this is funny. Somebody said if Robert Williams plays for the Celtics win against Brooklyn. That's actually a very low-key stat. That's actually very true. Very true. Robert Williams defensively has been ridiculous for the Celtics. Tatum and Brown are playing incredible right now. I really do think the Celtics are going to beat the Nets, and it's going to be for one reason. The Nets the other night were up 22 in the third quarter in the play-in tournament against the Cavaliers. The Cavs cut that to 4 or 5 points? That was against the Cavaliers. And Kyrie went 12 for 12 in the first half. It took all that just for them to beat the Cavaliers. You got two ballers. They were just relying on Darius Garland over there in Cleveland. You got two ballers in Tatum and Brown. The Nets are not good defensively. It's going to be a problem. If they are getting the shots, Tatum and Brown are getting the shots that Garland had and the looks that he had, it's going to be a troublesome series for the Nets. people tend to overlook that. They are not that good defensively. And Boston can put points up. That's going to be a challenging series, I just think, matchup-wise for the Nets. I think the Nets could win it, but that's going to be very challenging, especially because they got to go on the road to Boston. Boston has the home court.
Yeah, it's different when you're playing at home and playing
I
on the
think
road.
Boston. I
It's
think
almost
Boston wins that
like
series.
Other sports.
More
People tend to
points.
forget about
Who has more points, Kyrie or Tatum, in that series?
Good question.
Tatum, because I'll tell you
You
why.
gotta have more points, right?
Tatum's the number one for Boston. Durant's the number one for Brooklyn. That's Tatum. Tatum will have more than Kyrie. I 100% believe that. I don't like Boston at all. But who would you? I can't fathom Boston winning a championship. But could you really fathom Brooklyn winning a championship and seeing Ben Simmons get a ring? I could not fathom that, man.
You
Gets
don't
the ring after the shitty pool, dude. They'll be so terrible. You don't deserve it. He don't work hard. And the same thing, like Richard said. So real quick, let me just backtrack 1 second, bro, because I agree with what you said. If they get made it hardy for that, what about fucking what Simmons in Philly? Imagine how Philly feels about Simmons admittedly saying, "I don't give a shit. I just don't want to do it." At least Kyrie's a diva, but he can play well. You know, James Harden has his F moments. He falls from peak shape, but towards the season he always does his best. Simmons has been trying, so for him, when they beat us, bro, I mean, yeah, you're right. When we play in Philly or whatever, or in the future for future matchups against the future games, we gotta, try to shut them down. And we gotta prove it wasn't a fluke. We got it for real. James Harden's for real, and we gotta, try to get Ben Simmons out the game if he even plays. Because I mean, he didn't even want to play. He's getting booed everywhere. So I mean, you know how he is. Even if teams don't be diva, he's gonna be diva everywhere.
To agree with your point, I don't even think Brooklyn fans think that Simmons deserves a ring at this point, because it's like even the Brooklyn fans
Probably.
You came up here like you were gonna be cool and you were eventually gonna get to the point where I'm pretty sure Brooklyn fans were expecting Simmons to be ready by the playoffs to play, and now not playing at all.
You'd be shocked, man. If you see some of these Brooklyn fan pages, man, they think Simmons is gonna come back and he's gonna ball. You should see some of these pages, man. Some of these fans are very delusional. They think he's just gonna come out and he's gonna be.
How you gonna ball when you can't shoot?
Like the funny thing is, the one thing I will tell you about Simmons though, man, is he actually realistically does not need to shoot in Brooklyn because they got shooters. But
still,
I think he'd mess the chemistry up. The one critical part in the series that I actually didn't talk about, Seth Curry is battling an injury. He's battling a back injury, and it has already been on record by Steve Nash that he needs surgery. That's why they're not sitting him any minutes, because there's nothing that resting him is going to do. He's going to require surgery at the end of the season. So he is not 100%. Seth Curry had zero points in the play-in tournament. None the other night. He took looks and he missed them all. And remember, Seth Curry went off against us. Remember when he came back to Philly? He went off on us that night. He is not 100%, so they're missing him in a shooter. But remember, guys, that Brooklyn has, Patty Mills. Patty Mills can shoot, man. They got shooters over there in Brooklyn.
There's some shooters for sure.
I just think Boston's going to be too much.
Seth put
I
up
think Boston.
He played the Sixers, right?
He put up like 20 something. Yeah. He had a big night. Let's pull that stat real quick.
Pull the stat real quick. We got some time. Let's see that one. All right.
I'm just trying to see how much.
I mean, that's the thing, man. When they play so well against us, I mean, it is, again, let's not think about the old game that passed, but we got to learn from it. And our defense clearly wasn't there. We got smoked in by the third. It was over the second quarter, really. But let's see.
Seth Curry had 24. He had 24 against us.
Who's this? AZ Cards, Phoenix Suns on God. Suns, champs.
So I don't know who that is, but realistically,
he feels that way.
Low key, I'm gonna agree with that. I think the Suns are gonna be the 2022 champs. I don't see anybody knocking them out. I'm gonna be honest. I think that they're gonna probably win it all. So I think the championship's coming out of the West this year. The East playoffs are gonna be much more interesting. Yeah, what do you guys thought about that in the West? We didn't really. Obviously, we're talking Sixers. We're talking the East. We talked about our predictions. What do you guys think about the West, man? We got the Suns in first place by a mile. We got Memphis in second place, and then Golden State in third. Golden State's going to be a tricky one though, because Steph Curry is injured. I don't even know if he'll be playing game one. We shall see, but it should be interesting out in the West. I think they're the three teams. It's going to be Golden. It's going to be between Golden State, Memphis, and Phoenix, the Suns.
Arizona, Phoenix, the Suns.
The Suns, man, they were in the finals last year. They're pissed off. I think that because they were there last year, and because now that they're this good, they're still this good this year. I think it's their year. Unless something catastrophic happens, like Devin Booker gets injured, Chris Paul goes down.
Right.
If somebody goes down, that's different. But if they stay healthy, it's going to be challenging. They do everything so well, just all around. That's a tough team to beat. The Sixers kept it close against them. Though when we played them, a month ago, it was a close game.
Who do you think Suns are going to meet at the Western Conference Final?
I'd
say the Mavs.
I'm gonna say Memphis. I think Ja and Memphis. Even though they haven't been there, they're the second seed right now. I think for a reason. So I'll backtrack. If Steph Curry is somewhat healthy and plays throughout the playoffs, possibly Golden State. It's going to depend on how healthy Steph Curry is. He had a foot injury, I believe. Was it a foot? What's Steph Curry battling right now? He hasn't played, but he will be. He's definitely going to play in the playoffs.
Yeah,
but it's just going to be one.
You said Memphis. You said they're going to see
Ja Morant. Yeah, Ja Morant's a beast, man.
Oh yeah.
So as of 2 hours ago, CBS reported that Steph Curry is expected to play Game 1 against the Nuggets. That's going to be an underrated series. That's going to be an underrated first round. I think that could go 6 or 7 for sure. But he has he's got a foot injury. But he's expected to play Game 1. I wasn't sure if they were just going to sit him in Game 1 and see what Golden State could do without him. Maybe they could win without him and then play Game 2 if they lose. But they're going to play him, it looks like. I'm interested to see, man. I don't know. I think the Bucks are the team to beat.
Grizzlies enter postseason second consecutive year. Golden State Warriors went to the postseason for the first time since 2019. Just some small stats, but wow. Yeah, man. No, I actually did watch some Golden State games, bro, and they're still kind of like one of the teams in the West, but obviously, the Suns are kind of like a little bit on the rise and been doing well. So it makes for the whole Western Conference is also very interesting. I don't always buy that, like always it's going to be the East, because you never know. You have the East and the West, and you're always trying to find the teams to be playing the most consistent. They usually depends. I mean, obviously, it's got to do a lot with the picks too. Wherever the first round is, and there could be better team if they get knocked out. Now, team that was not as good as say like the Lakers, for example. If they would win the playoffs, they lose, and now you have like the Suns or some other team. They might.
Yeah, it's like Pat Beverly said for the Lakers, man. Yeah. They stink. Remember Pat Beverly gave the thing to them.
They stink,
dude. They were terrible.
Yeah, I remember that.
Did you see him crying?
Dude.
Did you see him crying when he playoffs?
Guys, let's get into that. That was kind of funny, man. So in the play-in tournament, the I actually just shared this with my boy earlier. You would have thought they won the NBA championship. So in the play-in tournament, the Timberwolves beat the Clippers, and Pat Beverly was like stood up on the table, threw his jersey off. He was like going nuts, like you would have thought that he won. He was crying, like yelling, like you would have thought they won the championship. So he says, "My heart says Sixers versus Suns in the finals. My mind says Bucks versus Suns."
Ooh,
I agree.
That's true, though.
I agree. If everything plays out in the East the way I think it's going to play out, Sixers play Toronto, 7-game series. We win. Miami takes care of Cleveland or Atlanta. We still have to see who's going to be that 8th spot. I think they'll take care of either of them. The Bucks will take care of Chicago. There's no doubt in my mind. But it's going to come down to that Celtics-Nets series. Who wins it? If the Celtics take care of business, we play Miami in round 2. I think we beat Miami. Again, won't be an easy series, 6 or 7. But we beat Miami. The Bucks take care of the Celtics.
The Bucks beat the Celtics.
Bucks, Sixers, Eastern Conference Finals. I don't know if the Sixers will be able to beat the Bucks. I don't know. That could be a 7-game series as well. Bucks would have the home court. That would be tough. I agree. My mind says the same thing. Bucks versus Suns rematch in the finals. But I would love to see the Sixers do it, man.
Yeah.
It's gonna, man. Is Harden just gonna flip the switch? Because a lot of people think he's been like sitting back. I don't believe that, man. I'm not a firm believer in someone can just flip a switch. I don't really believe that unless you're like LeBron, who was doing it all the time, like for years. It's very tough to just flip the switch when the playoffs come around. It's tough to just do that. So I don't know if I believe that, but we'll see. Also, remember the refs tend to swallow their whistle in the playoffs. The game slows down. They tend to not call as much.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with everything y'all pretty much said right there when it comes to those finals. Is I agree with the user down below saying my heart says Sixers versus Suns in the
That
finals.
was me.
That's what my heart says. I'm 100 with that. You know what I'm saying? I really hope we can make it at least to the Eastern Conference Finals. I think Doc Rivers' job will be safe if we can make it to the Eastern Conference Finals. I think anything less than that, I think we're going to be looking
fired.
at some other options.
I agree with that. It depends on who we play in round two. If we play Boston, we play Boston in round two. That might be challenging to get to the. I don't know. It's going to depend. Let me see. I'm trying to see who all the comments are real quick.
That was me
So
just
Todd
now.
commented a few of them. Oh, you commented. We got this. Go Sixers. Most people saying Harden was laying on his back, was laying back in the cut so Embiid could get his and possibly the regular season MVP. Yeah, there's a lot of rumors out there. We'll never know what realistically happened. Remember Jimmy Butler when we had him a few years back? He did that where he kind of laid low a little bit, and then when the playoffs came, he flipped the switch. It just isn't always that easy for a lot of players. I'm not sure if Harden's that type of guy. We'll see though. I'm interested, man. Remember, guys, look at the schedule. Game 1 is on Saturday. This upcoming Saturday is at 6 p.m. I think Monday night's game is. Then we play on Monday.
Monday, yeah. I'm off that day.
Let's see what the schedule's looking like. I had it earlier. Let's see. Okay, so they got the whole schedule released here. It is. So we got game 1, and then game 2 is on Monday at 7. Game 3 or 7:30, excuse me. Game 3 would be Wednesday in Toronto at 8:00. Game 4 is a weird time. It would be Saturday in Toronto at 2 p.m. It's weird. I don't know.
Why is it like
then
that?
the rest
What's the point?
I don't know. And the rest of
scheduling?
the series is to be determined. So guys, they're going to be playing on ESPN on at 6 p.m. on Saturday. You got TNT on the second game. You got NBA TV on the third game. Then you're back to TNT for game 4. The rest is up in the air. They don't have the schedule past game as of yet.
To be determined and all that.
Yeah, TV.
Well, listen, guys. I gotta go soon, but I want to ask one last question before I go. Do you guys think? And I'll tell you my opinion afterwards. Do you guys think that Embiid is going to win that MVP?
Well, he's. I mean, I think he's a great candidate. I mean, because all right, let's do the ballistics. That's kind of like just these stats. Other than Embiid, who else? Let's just name about 4 or 5 guys that could possibly win it, including Embiid. I mean, who else? Could you think put it on that list? Because clearly they're saying that a lot of people think that Harden is not putting his best to let Embiid shine more. But at the same time they win. If he wins, if they win he go to the championship in the Eastern Conference. If they do go to the finals as well, he could win. Even if they lose, if they win the finals,
the MVP doesn't really have anything to do with the playoffs, though. It's regular season.
Yeah, it's regular season. So, I mean,
Embiid 100% should win it. Do I think he's
Embiid is up to win it? Yeah, because it's his time. He's peaking right now. He's 20-some years old.
The competitor would be Jokic. Sorry, am I saying that right?
Jokic.
Jokic. Oh, Jokic. Yeah, Jokic is good.
Sorry, I'm bad with those Baltic names.
Nah, it's fine. It's a J, but it's pronounced like a Y.
Jokic, yeah.
They love to ride Jokic's pipe, man. I just don't know what it is, man. They just he won it last year, and they keep saying this year. The 3 that are in the discussion are Jokic, Giannis, and Embiid. Giannis is right there too. Embiid should win it. He just won the scoring title.
Embiid should win,
And
man.
the excuse last year was he didn't play enough games, which was fair. Why Jokic won it last year. This year, that's not the case though. So you should 100% win it. But if they already asked Embiid, what if you don't get it? He's like, what can I say? They hate me. Or how he said it. He said, what can I say? They
don't like me.
I agree, man. I think
So,
Embiid, I think it's his this year. I think it's him. Why the fuck? Why not?
Yeah, why would it be him? Right. That's what I'm saying. He should be him, you know?
Jokic won it last year. Giannis won Finals MVP last year. It's Embiid's time.
That's what I'm saying, man. Come on. Let the
All right.
guy shine.
Like,
he deserves it. He played very
It's
well.
ridiculous.
Yeah.
He's still consistent. He hasn't slowed down the whole season, even in the playoffs. I mean, we'll see now. But, up to this point, he's looked good. So, I mean, during the season, he did really well. I think he makes fair. He should win it. Not only he can win it, he should win it. But will he? I mean, we'll find out.
I just want to give my boy Todd a shout. He said I'm out. Give my wisdom. Thanks for the wisdom tonight, my man. So I appreciate you, brother. Thanks for tuning
Todd,
in.
as always.
My boy Todd. My boy Todd down there.
Well, I'm out. I'm right behind Todd, guys. I'm right behind out the door. But I wanted to thank you for having me on here.
Real quick. Yeah, absolutely, bro. But what's your full answer, man? You think Embiid's gonna win MVP?
Oh, before I go, yeah. Oh, yeah. And if not, it's politics.
So?
I definitely think it's politics if he doesn't win MVP. I think Embiid has been like above and beyond. I think Embiid has been a baller this year. I think that he's been a beast in the paint. I think that he hits like all his free throws and he does everything that he does everything that possible for this team. He's the star of this team, and we have other stars. We have Harden, but Embiid is right now. Embiid is that dude here in Philly. So, and what he's in the league respects him, so I think he deserves it 100%.
100%. That's actually very well put. So you said 100% he should win it, and if he doesn't, it's politics. All right, I'll go with that. So, yeah, I would say the same thing. 100% he does. I would say he does win it, but if he doesn't, okay, you got the backtrack right there. Politics. I agree with that. He should win it.
Yeah.
We'll see though.
We'll see, my guys. But listen, I appreciate y'all for having me. Of course, invite me anytime, man. We got busy schedules out here, but I'll try to make it as much as I can. All right.
No doubt, boss.
Appreciate
good to have you,
man.
man.
Thank you
good
for coming on.
insights. Definitely good show. Great stuff. And we'll see you. We'll definitely bring you back, even for some not so much sport related, episodes and all that. But always,
life.
It's a pleasure, bro.
Blessings, bro. Yo, my guy.
Stay in touch.
I was gonna say happy Easter to
you and your family. Happy early Easter.
Yeah, happy Easter, everybody, man. Have fun. Eat a lot of food. Go to church if you go to church. If you don't, then stay at home. Do whatever you gotta do, and take care, guys.
No doubt. I'm gonna talk to you, Rich. I'm gonna hit you up. All right, boss. Back to just us. Okay, guys. So
thanks, brother.
If you missed it, if you did miss it, guys, we just had our boy Rich Mitchell, Rich the Golden Kid. He was just here for a little bit. We had a good conversation with us. Brought some good insights, and between us three, bro, I think so far it's been a good show. We could go a little longer, obviously, a few more minutes. There's a few things we got to finish up on, but I agree. I definitely agree, man. I mean, I think Embiid, he should win it. He probably will win it. If he doesn't, it'll just be like on a small thing. Like I can only see them like saying like they say Jelkovic or something like that. Like, oh well, he did more. You want more? Statistics kind of suggest that. I think he's gonna be Embiid's year. Anything kind of suggests he looks like he's gonna be Z. Even like from what I've seen, a lot of people think that. A lot of analysis experts. What is the greats like the Skip Bayless and Shannon and all that, and Stephen, A. Smith? Have they commented on it at all, or like
on what, the series?
No, not the series. Like it's all like as far as like MVP. Like have anybody? I know like I heard some stuff, in blogs and all that, but have anybody like some of the big names and experts? Have they said anything about like who do you think could win it, or who do you think should win it, or if it's like because I know Embiid's a candidate. I know for sure he's like up there, like he's this close to winning it. They
probably do talk about it. I'll be honest, I don't watch them too much.
We got time to watch all that good shit, all those stuff, watching TV and all. Actually, I took my stick out of here, bro. I got my other cable here, but I was gonna tune in. As I was gonna do the podcast, kind of kept some stuff on the background for some information and all that and stuff. Like maybe like breaking news and all that. But obviously, I didn't turn my TV on, and my stick is downstairs, a Fire Stick. But yeah, I did see something like I said. It seems the popular consensus is that Embiid will win, but we'll find out. Right now, I'm more worried about the series. If he wins, I'll be happy for him, like a little personal trophy sort of thing, record for him. I mean, he needs to win MVP. He's been always, he's been a constant professional, and he's getting better. Now, if he doesn't win it this year, bro, I mean, he has next year, but he's like slowly, his age is, he's older now, but he's not too old. He's still kind of young. So,
I mean, to be honest, I'd much rather see him win the NBA Finals MVP and win the whole thing. But we'll see. We'll see when the finals.
Yeah,
MVP.
I mean, obviously, I'd rather watch him, him win, the NBA Finals and beat MVP in that game. But if he wins MVP like the regular NBA MVP for the season and all that, I mean, that'd be dope. He deserves it, and we shall see, man. Like I said, I know they've been hard to play well together, but this series though does worry me a little. Like I don't know that the Sixers are gonna win the whole thing, bro. The conference is one thing, but to win the whole, I mean, the NBA championship or the finals, I mean, it's whoever the West team is. I mean, we need work, bro. I mean, I don't know. Like I like our team right now. I like the coach, but like you said, he's a little bit overrated too, though. Doc River, he's a good coach, but his records, in playoffs, they have not always been outstanding. They've been decent. He's won the conference.
Yeah, Doc worries me a little bit, man. I'm not sure about his decisions and stuff, but
So you don't agree with a lot of his decisions? You feel like it's not really. I mean, he's a coach at the end of the day, but still, it's like some things could be different, right?
yeah, I can't like his substitutions. Just I don't know, man. He's just such
I noticed a little bit peeved. I mean, a lot of people feel the same way. I mean, I'm not crazy about Doc Rivers neither. He's a decent coach, but I'm not so sold on him like that. I mean, he's done well with us, but come on, we got to win a little more, man. We got to be considered one of the main teams.
100%. So it's going to be interesting to kind of see what I don't know, man. Nick Nurse is a good coach, though. What's your predictions, man? Though NBA Finals, what are you thinking?
Finals?
Yeah, who do you think is going to be the teams?
The Bucks, in my opinion, and I don't know, bro. I'm not sure, to be honest.
The Suns?
Yeah, it's exactly what I'm saying. I would say I would say the Golden Glove. I mean, the Golden, what do you call it? Golden State Warriors. That would be kind of like in my opinion, but I think the Suns might add edge. So I say Bucks and Suns. In my opinion, that's going to be the, because I don't want to say it's us, even though it might be. But I mean, we don't know they're going to go all the way that far yet. We're still kind of we're just going to get over the whole Ben Simmons bullshit that happened. And again, we lost to the Nets. I mean, in a bad fashion, but that doesn't cancel a pretty good season, an almost perfect season. I mean, 4th place. Now we're in the playoffs, trying to win the Eastern Conference. See what we could do. I mean, honestly, for me personally, bro, as a humble supporter fan, somebody who understands this and watches it as much as I can, I think I was going to the NBA Finals and winning the conference championship. In that sense, in process and going there, I think that to me is a small moral victory. Even if we lost, to say I don't know, we play the Golden State Warriors, or we play the Suns, like States Philadelphia versus Suns, Sixers versus Suns. If we go there, I mean, dude, that'll be dope. Think about how much, how crazy we get Philly. Can you imagine my job what would happen, dude? In that case, you got to come through one night, bro. You just got to come with James and we're rich. Come with Rich, actually. I'll get you for free. Try to work it out. You can sleep right by the VIP somewhere. You know what I mean? And, you know what I'm saying? Who cares for the bottom for giving the club? I mean, if we go to the.
I would have to keep that on the low. I would have to keep that on the low, man. I might get in a little bit of trouble.
You might know you should do is pre-game in the car. You just tailgate, you come there with a friend, somebody drives, you come in there, and then you go inside, and who knows, bro? Maybe I can even get you a free shot, but don't say I said it. I said it on the podcast, but I hope nobody hears that. Nobody hears that part, because people have got free shots there, but they're not supposed to. Somebody one time in security talking about, I talked to them, give me a free shot, not a free shot. I mean give me a shot. But I'm like, you can't be drinking a job. He's like, no, I asked somebody, they say it's cool. I just did it once, but I'm like, man, I ain't do this again. Don't ask me for a fucking shot because he gave me the money. You know what I'm saying? I was like, fuck
yeah.
that.
I might get it. I would have to keep that on the low, though. I said I might get myself in trouble going down there.
Okay. I got you said. At first, the place said I'll get in trouble if you snuck me a bottle when I'm, you know what I mean? Like outside the car.
Nah.
Or if you're drinking in a car, when you got in the parking lot, everybody drinks in the parking lot, man. Let's be real. I know what you're saying. He's talking about in trouble with something else. I know you're talking about. Yeah, well, at the end of the day, bro, just being you and living life on your own terms and just being relaxed and nothing to explain to nobody, bro. There's no way to do it. I mean, that is life, right? It's the best thing about it right now, bro. But I mean, I see a lot of guys coming here too and come with their significant others and bring them along for different reasons. But for bowl games, it's different. See, this is more like for a special event. I mean, if Philly does if we reach, I mean, think about it, if we won the Super Bowl, if we win the NBA, finals, it would be crazy in my job, bro. And it's gonna be very crazy. People drink so much, there'll be fights. So I might not even want all that. I want them to win, and I don't want to be there that day. I want to be able to go out and enjoy the night. But like I said, a lot of games I've been watching on my job, bro. And speaking of which, the Sixers, I mean, they be looking good, man. Not for nothing. We were definitely one of the teams in the East Coast, just NBA, but East Coast to kind of beat. And then with the switch we did, it was a great move for us. But I asked one of my guys, a guy named Paid. He goes by Paid. He's my friend. He works security with me there. And I was like, well, what? Imagine if we had kept Jimmy Butler and got Hardy. Can you imagine how kind of team? He's like, man, it's cool. He said, but it's cool to think about it. We can't afford them. They cannot afford both, or they can't afford Jimmy Butler. And I'm like,
you can't afford both. The max con. I don't know though. If you were able to get rid of Tobias Harris, and he makes
true.
What does he make? 180. What does he make? 180 million. You were able to get rid of Harris and get Butler.
That's great.
Which Butler and Harris, you would be able to afford it then. But
if we got rid of Harris to somebody else, and don't say Korkmaz, I like Korkmaz, but anybody else,
Korkmaz's salary is nowhere near what those guys make.
Nowhere near. He don't make he makes good money, but doesn't make millions like these guys. Like he make Embiid money.
Tobias get paid $180 million a year, so he's getting.
How come he makes way more though? Like he doesn't make as much as Embiid, but he makes more than.
Because when Jimmy Butler bounced, we had to sign a superstar to keep something here. Jimmy Butler went to Miami. He didn't like Brett Brown. He didn't like Ben Simmons. In order to keep some type of superstar here, we had the max contract Tobias Harris. See, Tobias just happened to be in the market at a good time, which is why he got paid. The timing of the market was correct, so he got paid a lot of money, realistically.
Yeah. No, man, I feel you, bro. And again, man, we have a good team. I'm liking our team more and more. Then it's not too much of a difference from my team. Let me see. When was it? Was it 2018 when the famous Kyle Leonard, shot on Embiid last second? That was 2019, right? No,
2019.
2019, yeah, April 2019. I already stopped 3 years now down the line. Like that's when we're building. Because I mean, post 2017 would be pretty tough, bro. Like post 2017, like 2018 and up. Yeah, there we go. Good background cover.
Or in the Wells Fargo.
So 2017, 2018 was not a great season. 2018, it was getting better though. Because I mean, before that we were one of the worst teams. Remember that part, bro? We don't want to go back to that. We revolutionized the team a lot. We could definitely win the whole thing in 10 years, bro. It only been 5 years, maybe, right? About 5 years or so, you could say. Yeah, 4.5 years now. So we can win it all next year, man. Even this year, it could be. I mean, who knows how things go? But I'm just saying. Hypothetically speaking, if we kept if the bias this pay, but it reduces pay, and then somehow they were able to afford a Butler, or they brought him back or something like that, that'd be cool. I mean, because Hardy and Butler, I think will get along. You don't think so? Hardy and Butler, they'll play well together. I don't see the problem. I don't see why they have any kind of problems.
I mean, it'll be probably fine.
Huh?
Yeah, probably be fine. I mean, a lot of people don't know Jimmy Butler was homeless at one point, so I'm like,
right. And
he's got a cold heart, man. He came from low spots. He was a walk-on at Marquette.
Damn, he was so he was homeless for a while. We said
a little bit. I think senior year of high school or whatever. But he was a walk-on at Marquette, the college. He was able to. He had to grind for everything he had.
Damn, I see. I didn't know that he was homeless. I heard something like he had been a little like something like poor at one point. I didn't know he was homeless though. But I mean, okay, even I expect him more. I mean, he's done some good things. Like I said, man, I like Jimmy Butler, man. I mean. And I fuck with him heavy. So I watch some of his games, when he plays for Miami and all that. And the teams he's played. I mean, I knew him a little bit before he came to the Sixers, but obviously watching him more consistently, But again, unfortunately in NBA, this kind of market, we cannot get too attached to players. Like every other, I guess, team, the towns do. The community within the club, the locker room, and all, of course, other players, the club itself, the organization, in the league, But I mean, in the league, bro, in the team. Because people like Ben Simmons, you liked him at one point, but he turns out to be a little weird. I mean, I don't say he's a fraud, but at the same time, he was never really a shooter. And as time went on, he caught up to him. The jig is up, It was just, he got exposed. Basically, shit happened, and he just didn't want to be here. But it's the way he handled it. He handled it very poorly, to say the least. He could have been a little better with it. I mean, come on. It's something I could tell him straight up in person. Like, I mean, it's hard, but I guess he could have done better. And now we're just talking about it like two guys are just analysts, basically, but. Not that we're sports analysts, although in a way we kind of are. But there we go, Wells Fargo, Philly, baby. I see that view a lot, bro. I drive out there a lot now by the stadiums. I told you I've been going to Xfinity Live a lot more lately, so I see that a lot. Wells Fargo. But like I said, bro, we're just explaining from our analytical point of view, and unfortunately, he just went a certain way with us. And I'm not sure. Please miss me with that. People on the comment section don't hit me up on that. Oh well, the city was rough to him. He was just rough to the city. Like he wanted to be played and clowned, and he let himself do that. Like he looked like a fool.
Yeah, man.
He looked more of a fool than Will Smith, getting mad at the Oscars and yelling what he yelled. Ben Simmons will look way more of a fool because what was he protecting? His own ego? At least he can say, well, Will Smith was protecting his wife. Supposedly, whatever. I mean, whatever your opinion of that is. Ben Simmons was protecting nothing but his little, what do you call it? Like his comfort. He don't want to be uncomfortable. He was to have his feet nice and fucking, have a nice little blanket, in the cold weather, be tight in there, talk to that bitch on the phone. No, be out there, shoot the ball in the rain, like a real man does, shoot it in a box. Move around, dribble, no ball, run up and down. He wasn't training hard, man. That's my problem with Ben Simmons, unfortunately. And again, I don't spend too much time on him, because we only have a few minutes left. But it's just how he went, and and then again, see, and it's the thing, bro. I didn't give a shit what happened. Oh, you want to boo him? I could have cared less if he was there or not. I just wanted to beat Brooklyn, but unfortunately, we got mangled by them.
Yeah, I'm like, it's more. With Simmons, it's more mental, man. More than anything, it's not really. Not really that he's like lazy. It's more just mental.
It's a mental thing. Yeah, he's kind of lazy too, though. But not like that. It's just laziness. It's more like the mental thing. It's almost like he can't do it and he gets the blocks. But still, bro, you can't be that mentally not stable or weak. I guess you can say. I mean, I don't want to call him weak person because I don't know if he's weak or not. But he looks like he's a little weak and too like baby. I mean, in that kind of league, you're playing with professionals, grown men at this point, or grown guys. These guys in their late teens, 20s, out of college, some probably even out of high school, like LeBron's of the world. I mean, they're going in. They're putting hours, bro. You gotta. Like, if it doesn't motivate you or inspire you or bring some discipline out of you or just anything, then nothing can. I mean, like if you're my teammate and we play on the same team, you, me, Rich, Nate, Mary, the whole squad, and no one can, do anything, and or everybody does a thing, and I'm just kind of sitting there like looking like I don't belong there, then maybe just don't belong there, buddy. I mean, he always had kind of like he hit some like decent shots through the years. He'll make some shots. He wasn't really a shooter, but I mean, I remember seeing him, make a couple points, and like grind hard. He would add to the team, I guess you could say. He was like one of those value-miss players, value meaning that, like, let me explain that, like, you kind of like rush in and get a rebound, he had his size, good passes, good assists, he could score too a little. It's not like he couldn't score at all. He could shoot a little bit, but his choice to not improving shooting when you got to improve at some point, you got to improve in the NBA, bro, because guys are getting better, new young guys are getting a team. For every guy that comes in, there's 10 guys want to try, bro. I mean, there's like, there's 1,000 kids in America want to try NBA around the world, and maybe only 100 make it like a, like every half a year, whatever, every like time, I mean, 100, 150 maybe out of like, maybe like let's throw a number out there, 25,000 maybe, maybe it's more. I'm just throwing some numbers. Don't call me. These not statistics, just numbers I'm throwing. Only 100 make it, and he made it. And I get it. You born in Australia, you lived in Australia a little bit, but it's an excuse. Australia's a healthy. They play basketball there. They've got good basketball players in Australia, bro. I'm not hearing that. Oh well, he didn't play enough. No. He was good enough. He just the mental thing got in his mind, and he got in his own way basically, and he just fucked up.
100%, man.
So
it's a mental barrier.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, it's a shame but then again, if he didn't leave and the whole thing with James Harden wouldn't happen, and James Harden didn't seem like in Brooklyn, he kind of, I guess, wasn't feeling as much, so he wanted to move. It was a perfect switch, he moved. I mean, he was only in Brooklyn for 1 year, but he played Houston for like 10 years for the Rockets. I was like,
yeah, it was like 9 years in Houston. Yeah,
9 years. Yeah, no, I apologize.
Roughly.
Yeah, 9 years, right? Because he played roughly a year, and he left throughout like half a year, really, because he left in like January, I believe. He was signed as what do you call that? A Sixers player. So that's like January. So this year, basically, like mid-season, I guess you could say, but or throughout the year. But like I said, man, I'm happy we got Harden, man, and even looking at our list, we got some good players in there. But I mean, as far as the playoffs, bro, I mean, any last things to say, bro? Because we're gonna wrap up soon. Any predictions?
Yeah, I think we
covered everything. Just saying, anything else you want to mention?
I was going to say, I think we kind of covered everything. We can kind of wrap it up here, especially a lot of people are starting to cycle out. Couple things. Obviously, number one, thank you all for joining tonight and, streaming in or whether you were watching, commenting in, whatever the case may be. Appreciate you all. Guys, if you're watching on YouTube and you like what you see, smash the like button. If you're not already subscribed, hit that subscribe button and hit the notification bell to turn notifications on because we release new episodes every single week. If you're watching on Facebook, I'm assuming you're already a part of the group. But if you like the episode, smash the like button. Also, want to give a big shout out to obviously our boy Rich for coming on tonight and thanking him for joining the Locked In podcast and coming as a returning guest.
Some good
Appreciate
value.
you, man. And also, just want to give a big shout out to our guest from last week, my good friend Bill Plymouth, who came on and talked about his experiences on a whole nother note with the drug ketamine when he went through a medically induced trials. He talked about his experiences with the drug ketamine and a little bit about Muay Thai fighting as well. So thank you to Bill for coming on episode 77. And then I also just want to wrap up by just telling you guys, have a great Easter. Have a great Easter holiday with your families.
Yeah, same here, guys. Have a great Easter. We appreciate, everybody watching in. Today was actually a pretty good episode 78. We're just on the verge of wrapping it up. About an hour and like 23 minutes in. Probably went a little longer than we thought. I mean, Rich actually did pretty early. He had to go, and I mean, so do I. But we just want to finish a few things, and definitely, guys, just kind of check out the website as always. We do have a website and our store and all that on there. I mean, probably think about me and you, Steve, talked about it. Maybe we could do some giveaways like sometime next month, maybe even this month. We'll kind of figure something out. We could do some stuff.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's
guys.
Spring.
Yeah, guys, you can actually see the link to all of our platforms. It's in the link tree below. So click the link tree link. We'll bring you to all of our platforms, which includes our personal website,
IG, Spotify, Facebook, all that.
Exactly, everything.
Steve, I am reaching out to this female already, this girl that I know from high school. I just got to get a hold of her. I'm sure I can. She did a podcast. I think she still does one. She's one of the original, to be honest, what do you call it, like influences that kind of influenced me a little to get one and inspire me in some ways because I knew her and I was cool with her in high school. She does something called Rise World, and I don't know if she still does it. I definitely got to reach out to her, but if she does, I mean, I'll definitely, like I said, she's on Anchor, so I'll definitely check it out. I'll send you a link or whatever, and maybe we can bring her on because they'll be dope. Because I mean, she's a fellow podcaster, so I mean, when you bring somebody who actually does podcasting too, like on your show, it's always like kind of like double fun, best of both worlds a little bit. So I got to talk to you about that and some upcoming episodes, and we'll do some nice little meeting, but as he said, I might see you tomorrow, so as well.
Yeah. We're gonna link in person tomorrow, man. So I will see you tomorrow on everything. And guys, also, it's Easter Sunday this weekend, but be sure to tune in to the Sixers versus Raptors game 1. Remember this Saturday, 6:00.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, I'll be at work. Actually, I'll be going to work, so I can probably watch a little home and then take everybody to work. Watch it, here on the radio, watching the phone. Get back to work and watch it there after that. I can tell you one thing. It's going to be packed. Oh, yeah. The club Saturday, and because the time they're playing, it's going to be packed. Wait, you said we're playing the Raptors. It's a home game, right? The first one?
Yeah, we're home.
Oh, man, yeah. This Saturday's going to be a busy
game 1 and 2. Games 1 and 2. Monday night's game is home, too. Wednesday's game is in Toronto. The next Saturday's game is in Toronto.
Harding will come through after work. No, I'm kidding. Oh, by the way, real quick, guys, just so we could, I mean to say after the game, when I'm at work, he's gonna come through. But real quick, so I guess I could break the news here. It's all cool. Somebody that's really close to Harden did come by like a few nights ago. I didn't really tell you this, but I'm not gonna say who or whatever. No, it wasn't his manager. Somebody knows his manager. Somebody really close though came by. So we might see the big fella at the spot. We'll see if he comes. I mean, apparently he's been there years ago and all that, but might be coming back. But because the rumors is cheerleaders is where he goes, but obviously the Lilas is like right there on the list. So yeah, this see somebody who's really close and really cool with him, definitely a baller, like some kind of sports agent of sorts. Let's just kind of put it like that. And he was there for a little, but kind of came, and he came with a bus, so they thought he was going to be Harden. But that's the thing, when he comes, you'll never know, and that's the beauty of it. But also, last night, right, Steve, this guy comes up there, some random guy, right? So this white guy with a camera, another guy came in. He started posing like this, and he did the typical James Harden one. When he came to Philly, he said, "Welcome home, James Harden," and welcome to Philly, and we've been waiting for you. He's like this, like that kind of, like he's like chilling. Like see the background, cheerleaders and Delilahs. The guy trying to imitate that, and then one of the girls there that I was working with in the front desk was like, "Oh look, he's doing it the James Harden. He just posing the same thing." I looked, I was like, "Oh yeah," and then. The first they came to Philly, remember, and this is my friend actually took the picture, my boy Paige. So whatever shit was online, he's actually the first source, which is like incredible because he took the picture, shared it, and somehow he got reposted online. He was like, I took a picture. Somebody came in here during the day because he has a day shift. Somebody came in, bro, with a poster saying, "Welcome to Philadelphia, James Harden." We'll be something like, "You're welcome. We'll be waiting for you in front of Delilah's." Like it's hilarious. Remember the typical, the really classic one? It was like this, the first one. Yeah, my boy actually took a picture of that. So he's actually. You got to give him credit. He's a source of that picture going online. It wasn't like he was online. He took it. He saw the guy there, took a picture. posted on IG, and somehow he went around and he got taken and banned. Because anybody can take a picture on IG and put it on the newsfeed, and anybody else can see it on IG World. You know what I mean? Like if somebody takes a picture of you, if you're not a private, profile of me or our picture, from the podcast, from the Black Team podcast, and they put it out there on the newsfeed, he could come up on somebody's feed to the podcast and say, "Oh, who are the two guys?
Yeah.
Two dudes." And so, I mean, I'm just saying that any picture could be taken from, and you probably would have got forget to take a picture, put it out there, and that's all over the internet or the IG world universe, the internet universe. So just kind of letting know on that one. But yeah, man, it's been kind of funny though what's going on. So we'll see, man. If they win big, bro, maybe they'll celebrate. Now, if they come through after just to hang out a little, they'll be kind of dope. Can you imagine? But too many fans. We have people coming from the game. The players, they come hidden, bro. They get the best sections, all the way on top, hidden. No one sees them. No one goes there. They usually got a guy waiting, so nobody can go there. So it's pretty private, as you might assume.
Yeah.
So yeah, but yeah, that's all, man. That's all to say. So yeah, shout out to everybody watching. Everybody have a great weekend. And a great Eastern. We will definitely catch up with you guys soon, and we'll be back next Thursday. In the meantime, guys, enjoy the show. You can watch the rebroadcast. We're about to be at the building. About to pull the plug.
All right, guys. Have a great weekend. Great night. See you next week.
Peace.